What's up, people? Pizowell here, and today I want to talk to you about 1986's The 11th Commandment. Now, this is partially going to be a review of the movie as well as a review of this Blu-ray release from Vinegar Syndrome. The 11th Commandment focuses on a troubled young man named Robert. Robert fancies himself a priest and has this whole Hamlet thing going for him, as he believes his evil uncle murdered his father for control of his fortune. One night, Robert breaks out of the institution he's called home for the past 2 years, on a mission to save his young cousin, avenge his father's murder, and kill anyone who stands in his way. So this is a weird one. The 11th Commandment is a movie that's difficult to classify, and it's the kind of movie that puts the killer in the role of the hero. The 11th Commandment isn't really a slasher movie. As a matter of fact, I'd be hard-pressed to even call it a horror movie. Instead, it has this surreal, almost fairy tale-like vibe. You genuinely feel for Robert, and you grow to like him more and more as the movie goes on. While institutionalized, Robert's been abused by the staff, subject to unneeded electroshock therapy and the like, all at the behest of his uncle. Robert wants nothing more than to avenge his father's death and to protect his young cousin Deborah because he sees her as the only member of his family that's not been corrupted by sin. And on his way to reconnecting with young Deborah after escaping the institution, he kills a few people. You can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs, am I right? And you can't reconnect with your 12-year-old cousin without killing a few people. I have no idea where I was going with that. But we can give Robert a pass when it comes to his homicidal behavior because the people that he kills are very bad. They're all sinners of some form or another, and Robert feels bad after he kills them, murder being a sin and all too. There are some really nice moments between Robert and Deborah, such as when he suggests that she should grow up to be a doctor because the world needs healing, or when the two of them dress up and do a little dance number. The killings in the film aren't graphic, there's no nudity or even foul language that I recall, and Robert, for being a spree killer, is the most childlike, innocent spree killer you've ever seen. Bernard White delivers a strong performance as Robert. He's a little off, but he can be gentle, sweet, caring, and dangerous, all at the same time. Lauren Woodland is fantastic as young Deborah. She delivers a performance far beyond her years. White and Woodland have real chemistry, and you can feel their bond and affection toward one another. On a side note, James Avery, Uncle Phil from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, has a small role in this film as an orderly. The 11th Commandment is a hard film to pin down. Vinegar Syndrome actually calls it a slasher soap opera on the back of the release. I'd call it a fantasy. It's not a great movie, but I found it pretty thoroughly entertaining and possessing a depth that I definitely wasn't expecting. The 11th Commandment isn't going to be for everyone. It's not quite slasher enough for slasher fans. It's not quite seedy enough for exploitation fans. But if you go into the movie with an open mind, you might find yourself enjoying it just as much as I did. This Blu-ray release from Vinegar Syndrome is newly scanned and restored in 2K from the 35mm interpositive. I thought the picture quality on this release was fantastic. I would give it a very solid 4 out of 5. Same with the audio quality. I thought the 11th Commandment looked and sounded great on this release from Vinegar Syndrome. As far as extras are concerned, first up we have A Lifetime of Preparation, an interview with actor Bernard White. It's 17 minutes and 13 seconds in length. Mr. White discusses how he prepared for his role in The 11th Commandment. He discusses working with the late writer and director Paul Leiter, the young girl who played Deborah, and James Avery. He discusses revisiting the film recently and how appreciative he is of Vinegar Syndrome for releasing it on Blu-ray. Next up, we have Through the Eyes of a Child, an interview with actress Lauren Woodland. It's 11 minutes and 55 seconds in length. Ms. Woodland discusses catching the acting bug, auditioning for the 11th Commandment, and getting the part. She discusses her understanding of the script and working with Paul Leiter and Bernard White. She discusses revisiting the film for the first time in decades, her character's relationship with Robert, her memories from the set, and how proud she is of the film, and more. We also get a still gallery. This is a very nice Blu-ray release for the 11th Commandment from the fine folks over at Vinegar Syndrome. Both the picture quality and the sound quality are fantastic, and we get 2 really nice interviews on this release as well. Again, the 11th Commandment, it's an odd one. It's not going to be for everyone, but personally, I thoroughly enjoyed it. If you're a fan of the 11th Commandment, this release is an absolute no-brainer. I'll post a link to Vinegar Syndrome's website down in the description. Go over and check them out. If you've seen the 11th Commandment, please let me know your thoughts on the film down in the comments section below. If you like this video, please leave it a thumbs up and share it on social media. If you're not following me on social media, those links are in the description. As always, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, and until next time, peace. A big thank you to all my awesome Patreon supporters. I appreciate your generosity and support of my channel. Become a patron today and join me for monthly live streams and have a say in what movies I review on my channel. Patreon.com/pizowell or follow the link in the description. Say hello to the internet, Jeremy.
Hello to the internet.